This is a Mill Road Studios production. An Ashman podcast. It's Friday. You do appreciate how good Australia is. Geez, we've seen some places. We flew out with Doha here from Adelaide or Qatar and landed in Doha there from Adelaide, which cut out a little bit of the time going to Melbourne and Sydney, which we had to do on the way back. But no, it was good. We went straight to Milan. We landed there and had a couple of days up there. We went up to Lake Como to see where all the rich and famous actors live. That was good. That was on a boat up there for the day, and was a Bellagio as well. That was a beautiful place. So that was a good one to do. Then we went back to Rome. That's where the boat cruise was going from. So we had 2 days there in Rome messing around. So we saw the Vatican and the Colosseum, and there was lots of little places around. We got on the hop on, hop off bus, which made it a lot easier for us rather than trying to navigate as well. Big place, lots of people again, 8 million people. Little old Adelaide, just beautiful to live in and get around. But it was good to see. Lots of people, lots of old buildings. You're talking 400 AD, so they're old as old. And, you know, to the credit, most of them are still very square, very plumb and level, except for Pisa. Pisa obviously had a bit of a lean on it still. I think they call that banana building now because they've built it out of whack to try to straighten it up. Then we left on the Norwegian Epic boat cruise from Rome. So that was a 10-night cruise, and that went to Athens, it went to Santorini, Mykonos, Malta, Joe's place, Napoli's there, Sorrento, Florence, Pisa. Good. You know, there was lots of the Greek islands were fantastic. Sicily was a bit crazy. Saw Mount Etna there, the active volcano. That was only a stone throw away, so that was pretty cool. We then flew, once we got back into Rome after those 10 days there cruising around the Mediterranean Sea, which was good because you don't get all the ground swell like you do, the ocean swells that you get in the Pacific and the Atlantic, because it's an inland sea, it's only wind-driven, so it very rarely even inhibits the boat whatsoever. So that was good. Great leaving ports at the back of the big ship there, and you can see in the background all the buildings, and while you're sucking on a few Coronas and whatever lagers you could get your hands on. We then got into London there at the Heathrow airport there, and we got a train straight out to see Caitlin there and met Andy for pizza in London that night. And then straight on a train the next morning up to Liverpool. So we went up there to do the podcast in the Wirral there with my old mate. So that was a lot of fun. We did lots of pub crawling in the morning, and then Justin took us under the Mersey, and we ended up doing the radio podcast, Manny and myself, there for an hour, and then we went round North Brighton in the Wirral there, and we got to meet Connor and his lovely pizzas, and lots of all the pub owners we got to meet personally, and what a fucking cracker night it went, right up to 10 o'clock, and in the end I had to pull the pin. I think he ended up going back to Liverpool and got home about 6:30, so thanks Justin Hopper. La Vida Liverpool, fantastic. You know, it's a lifelong friend there forever. So when you get to Australia one day, mate, we'll tip it around the other way and put the show on the other foot and show you what it's all about down here. But anyway, we had a day there in London when we got back, and we met Will and Hannah, and we went out to see Lords and Abbey Road and all those great spots. We got photos of there walking across the street there with the painted lines on the road. So that was a bit of fun. Straight next morning, straight out to City Airport for Dublin. So we flew straight over there, about an hour flight, 50 minutes, something like that. Landed in Dublin, picked up the hire car, boom, off we went. Car for 3-4 hours across the land over to Donegal there on the west coast. Pubs there were delightful. Scenery was delightful. The walking up the hills, 200-300 metre cliffs, beautiful, great stuff. Can't beat it. Was very clean, a lot newer than I thought, with the old buildings as well. Then we went right up to the northwest corner there and saw the giants. We went down to the beach and see all these, almost like a Pentagon rock. That was all. There was a myth story about a couple of giants there. It was the Giants Causeway, I think they called it. So that was around the northwest Cape there, and then we headed down the hill to Belfast. Got into Belfast, did all the pub crawls there in Belfast, which was fantastic to see it. Beautiful 3-story condo that we stayed in there, a B&B, beautiful old one. And then the next day back to Dublin again. And we had another full day there with the pubs and the music singing, and that once again took us to 10 o'clock and lights out, straight up next morning, and then back off to the airport again in Dublin to fly to Cornwall. So Cornwall, beautiful coastal town there in the southwest corner, of the UK there, and we met Andy's mum, dad, Jeff and Helen there, and his sister and husband, and we spent a couple of days there walking around the coast and beers at the pub again, and nice meals, and they owned a shop there, so it was convenient to buy some more long necks as you needed them, which was really handy. So that was good. And then once again we'd flown, got a train back to London this time, and that took a few hours. That might have taken 5 hours to get back up to London, and we had a night there just to have a look at London for the last time, and then straight onto the train again underneath the ditch to Europe, and arrived in Paris there. Once again, you're gone from, 10 million people in London to the same amount there in Paris. So once again, lots of people, but good to see Eiffel Tower and all the normal stuff that people do. Lots of photos. We took a lot of black and whites over there to make it feel older than it was, and great to see.
Renovation.
6-hour train from there down to Barcelona. Barcelona, what a beautiful place. Clean, subtropical, nice and warm there. They got the America's Cup there about to start, if it hasn't already, or started or finished. That was just beautiful. The yachts and all the boats down there at the port were just fantastic. Once again, very big city again, underground. The train systems in Europe were just divinely. It was very good. Adelaide, you don't get a lot of trains where we are. We've got the Autobahn and that's about it. But it was good to see. We had a couple of days there, went round and saw the big cathedrals and hop-on, hop-off buses again, and tasted some of the local stuff. Stayed in a nice place out near the soccer oval there, the Barcelona.
Renovation won't be finished.
And then back on the plane, destined for Melbourne. So we got the Qatar back to Doha again. Doha's a very big airport, very, very big, very clean, very new. 777 all the way back to Melbourne, 13 hours, fantastic. And we had about a 6-hour wait. I think we were up about 38 hours, I think, from the time we left, with about a 5-hour kip on the way back. So great trip, great to be back. Good to be back in Oz again. It's taken a few days to get back in the Southern Hemisphere mode. Not quite there yet, but looking forward to getting the next podcast up with Sonny, and we'll be seeing you soon. So there's a little bit of a recap for the last 5 weeks, and off to Joe Bowsans tonight for a few beers. So we'll catch you all soon. Cheers, man.